Okay, let's jump right in today.
Sounds good.
When you're trying to get a handle on all the AI agents out there, checking out resources like AIagentstore.ai is super helpful just to see what's what.
Right. It's a good starting point. And today we're looking at some source material on one specific platform that's popped up a bit lately.
Yeah, Convergence Proxy AI, it seems to be making some noise.
Exactly. So the idea is to, unpack what the sources say it is, how it works, and maybe why it's catching people's attention right now.
Okay, so based on the material, what is Convergence Proxy AI at its core?
Well, the sources define it mostly as an AI agent platform,
Yeah,
specifically built for autonomous task execution.
autonomous task execution.
Yeah, think of an agent that can actually, do things online by itself.
Okay, so its main job, according to the sources, is navigating and automating tasks, especially across digital workflows, web stuff.
Precisely. The material really emphasizes that web-based part.
Yeah.
All the clicking, typing, form filling. It aims to automate those kinds of multi-step processes online.
Right, makes sense. How does it pull that off, though? What's the tech underneath that lets it act autonomously like that?
The sources mention something called large meta-learning models,
Yeah,
LMLMs.
LMLMs. Okay. That sounds pretty central. What do these models actually let the agent do, according to the material anyway?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. They enable it to adapt. So interfaces that change, websites that look different day to day.
Oh.
It can handle that.
Ah, okay. Dynamic interface.
All right. And manage those complex multi-step workflows we mentioned, sequences of actions.
Mm.
And crucially, the sources say it learns from user interactions over time, so it supposedly gets better.
That learning aspect feels really important. Like it's not just a dumb script.
No, exactly. The ambition seems higher.
So the sources suggest it's aiming for a pretty high level of independence then. Is there like a specific autonomy level mentioned?
Yeah, the material cites 82% autonomy.
82%. That's quite specific. Why so high? What's the source's reasoning for that number?
Well, the reasoning points to a few things. Handling those changing interfaces smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Its ability to sort of problem solve in real time, like dealing with errors or pop-ups or UI changes without a person needing to step in.
Okay, so it can react.
Right. And just generally being proficient at navigating complex multi-step processes from start to finish on its own.
Interesting. So it's not just following orders, it can kind of figure things out a bit. Is there any performance data mentioned, like benchmarks to back this up?
Yes. Actually, the source brings up an 88% accuracy score on something called the Web Voyager benchmark.
Web Voyager, 88%.
Yeah, and the material uses that score, plus its parallel processing abilities, to sort of illustrate its robustness and how well it operates autonomously.
Okay, 88% on Web Voyager. Those are solid numbers. So let's shift to practical uses. What can you actually do with this thing? According to the sources, what are the use cases listed?
They list quite a range. Automating complex multi-step web tasks and workflows is the big one,
Right, the core function.
which leads into enhancing productivity, delegating routine digital stuff, but also things like developing adaptive AI solutions, integrating agents into enterprise systems.
For efficiency, yeah.
And even research, like building general-purpose agents that have long-term memory.
So for someone listening who maybe spends hours clicking around websites, copying data, filling out forms, this is pitched as something that could automate a lot of that drudgery.
That's exactly the idea. Take those tasks off your plate. Free up your time.
Okay. Now, there was some pretty significant news about this platform mentioned in the sources, wasn't there? Something recent.
Oh, yeah. Big news. Salesforce announced they acquired Convergence. Well, that was apparently back in May 2025.
Salesforce acquired them. Wow. That's a major player. What was the stated reason? Why did they buy Convergence?
According to the material, the plan is to integrate Convergence's tech into Salesforce's own Agentforce platform.
Agentforce. Okay.
Yeah, the goal seems to be boosting their AI capabilities, especially around AI-driven customer interaction and general productivity within the Salesforce environment.
That's a huge signal, isn't it? A company like Salesforce betting on this kind of tech. Who exactly is this platform aimed at? Who's the target audience listed in the sources?
The material lists professions it's best for. That includes software developers, automation engineers, product managers.
The tech side.
Right. Also, research scientists, enterprise IT pros.
And what about industries? Where is it supposedly popular?
Popular industries mentioned are software development, business automation, research, customer service, and marketing. pretty broad.
Makes sense given the potential applications. Okay, quick practical points. How do you get access? Is it open source?
The sources say it uses a freemium model,
Freemium. Okay,
and that the code itself is closed source.
gotcha. And there's a popularity metric mentioned too, right?
Yeah, cited at 69% popularity level.
Okay, 69%. Let's touch on what the community thinks based on the summary and the sources. What's the positive buzz?
Well, the summary of the positive feedback hits a few key points. Users apparently find Proxy 1.0, that's the agent is globally available, and significantly cheaper and faster than some major competitors.
Cheaper and faster is always good.
Definitely. And it's being used for a really wide mix of automation tasks. The sources list things like news summarization, social media engagement, even sales lead messaging, job searching, code reviews.
Wow, that's diverse. Anything about how well it does these things? Reliability.
Yes, that's a key point in the summary. Users are reportedly finding it can fully automate complex multi-step workflows reliably across different web platforms.
Fully automate reliably.
That's what the summary states. It specifically notes it seems to outperform other similar tools in terms of consistency and actually completing those tricky sequences without failing.
Consistency on complex tasks. That sounds like a big selling point if true. Now, the source did mention negative opinions exist, but details were behind a paywall, right? So we can only go by the summary provided.
Exactly. We stick to what the freely available source material tells us.
Understood. And there was also that mention, just briefly, about competitive positioning, a video title.
Ah, yes. The source material includes the title of a video claiming Convergence Proxy beats OpenAI operator.
Okay. Just the title, but it definitely shows how it's being framed against competitors.
Yeah, positions it as a serious contender.
All right, so let's try and pull this all together. Based on everything in these sources, the LMLM tech, that 82% autonomy figure,
Yeah.
the 88% benchmark score, the wide use cases, and especially that Salesforce acquisition, what really makes Convergence Proxy AI stand out right now?
I think it's that combination, really.
Yeah.
You've got the technical underpinnings, the reported high level of reliable autonomous performance on complex stuff,
Right, the reliability factor.
the broad applicability across different digital tasks and industries, and then that huge validation signal from the Salesforce acquisition. It paints a picture of the tool aiming for serious, adaptable automation, particularly in enterprise settings.
Yeah, it feels like more than just a simple automation script.
Definitely seems like a significant step in the AI agent space based on this material.
It gives you a pretty clear idea of why it's generating buzz.
Absolutely.
So thinking about that Salesforce deal and everything we've covered, it leads to a bigger question, maybe for you listening to mull over. When a major enterprise software company invests so heavily in this kind of autonomous agent tech, what does that really signal about how fundamentally AI agents might change the way we all interact with our work software, maybe sooner than we think?
That's definitely the big picture implication here. Food for thought.
It really is. And for anyone listening, if you want to look into Convergence Proxy AI more, or just explore other agents, you can check out resources like AIAgentStore.ai.
Good place to browse, for sure.
Well, thanks for tuning in and exploring these sources with us today. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
And if you found this conversation useful, we'd appreciate it if you could take a moment to rate this show.